Well, Sabbath greetings to everyone. I hope you've had a great week. I hope it's been a productive and profitable week for you. It's been a very busy week here, and as many of you know, I won't go into all the details on this video, but there certainly has been a number of trials going on in the area, you know, we know that we do need to be praying for one another. Certainly just seems like there's been an extra measure of those things of late, and we want to pray for one another with all of our hearts, and just ask God for His intervention. We know He's the God of all comfort, and He can comfort us in difficult times, and we, you know, it's very, I don't know, I've just had a lot on my mind this week, and just thinking about, you know, the fact that we don't always know why. And that's difficult for us to deal with in this human stage, in this flesh that we're living in right now. We don't like to have those questions of why without having some answers. And sometimes the simple truth is we just don't have the answers. There isn't an answer, an easy answer. But, you know, we can take comfort in the knowledge of the truth, and the fact that God has a great plan and purpose, and no matter what happens, His purpose will stand, and He's working all things together for good. It does remind me of Romans 8. You think about everything that Paul went through in his life, and he just goes down through that list of, you know, being left for dead, and you know, shipwrecked, and just on and on and on. All that Paul suffered through during his life, and you read about that in Romans 8 and verse 18, and he says, "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." You know, this life is certainly full of difficulties, sometimes suffering, and sometimes, again, those things that we just don't have any answers for, why certain things happen. But we know that Paul had that perspective, that everything we go through in this life is certainly working out a greater purpose, and we know that those sufferings are not worthy to be compared with the wonderful future that we have to look forward to. And hopefully we're comforted by that. We still feel what we feel, and we go through pain, and we go through difficulties in that way, but we can take comfort, at least you know, in that knowledge of the fact that God is working out a greater plan and purpose, and He is still on His throne, and He is still a God of great mercy and comfort, and He is love. God is love. And so we know that in this context of Romans 8, all that Paul is referring to, we finally come to that just awe-inspiring scripture that I'm sure we've all leaned on at various times in our lives. Romans 8 and verse 28. "And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called according to His purpose." You know, all things. There's simply nothing that happens that escapes God's knowledge and understanding. And we don't always have the answers of why He allows certain things to happen. But we know that that's a promise to those who love God and keep their focus on Him, and that bigger purpose of our calling and our future hope and what we have to look forward to. We can take a lot of comfort in that scripture of knowing that all things work together for good to God's overall wonderful, marvelous purpose. And so I hope we can all reflect on that this Sabbath, and embrace that wonderful truth of God and how He's working in our lives and working all things together for good. And I hope you have a wonderful Sabbath wherever you're at. We're looking forward to, at least myself and maybe even my mom, who we're very pleased to have in town here for a while. My mother and also my wife's parents are here in town. It's very rare that we get them all here at the same time, but it's a wonderful blessing for us as a family to have all the grandparents here. at the same time, and we're enjoying that. And so I could very well have at least my mom with me as we travel to the Dells for Sabbath services. That's where we're planning on being, God willing, and my wife will be probably staying a little closer to home, and will likely be attending in Milwaukee. But wherever you're attending, I hope you have a wonderful, meaningful, profitable Sabbath wherever you're at. And I hope there's not too many distractions in this video. We've got a house full here, and I did want to get at least a brief video up for this Sabbath greetings, and just let you all know that thinking about you, and I hope you're all doing well wherever you're at, and I hope you have a wonderful Sabbath. And we look forward to seeing the rest of you, those in the Dells this Sabbath, and the rest of you in the weeks ahead. And we need to continue to pray for one another, and just lean on and focus on and know that we can rely on the wonderful promises of God. And so I hope you have a wonderful Sabbath. We love you all. Take care, and we'll see you all real soon.